everyone, it's Dylan with CT Aquatics, and today we're going to turn this auto top off for a Red Sea tank into a refugium. So a refugium is a container for macroalgae essentially, and macroalgae is used to help pull out excess nutrients in the reef tank. So you basically want to grow the algae in a contained area like this so that it won't grow in the rest of the tank. All right, so to start, this project is something that's going to be exclusive to Red Sea tanks, specifically their first generation, where they have this gravity-fed auto top-off. A lot of their new tanks now come with an actual auto top-off pump, so they don't have this gravity-fed system. We have purchased one of those of their new pumps and added a new auto top-off to the system already. So we're going to use this space and turn it into a refugium for the tank. So for this project, we're going to need the Red Sea Gravity Auto Top-Off that comes with the tank. We're also going to need a drill with a diamond-coated drill bit that matches the size of the bulkhead. We're going to install this bulkhead into the auto top-off so that the water can drain out. You'll also need a template. I just made this one out of a piece of cardboard. This will help to keep the diamond-coated drill bit in place when you're drilling. It's also important to keep the drill bit cool while drilling. So I have a syringe filled with water and I can get more if needed. You want to put this on the glass when you're drilling to keep the drill bit cold. If the drill bit gets too hot, it'll crack the glass. So we only get one shot at this. We only have one of these tanks, obviously. So if anything goes wrong, we're gonna have to scrap this project. We'll have to make a refugium in another way for the tank. So to start, I'm just gonna flip it over. I'm going to take my template and put it in place where I want it. So this isn't necessarily the cleanest template, but it should be good enough to hold the drill bit in place while I'm drilling. So I'm going to start by just putting some water in here so that the glass stays cool. And the template helps to hold it where I'm drilling. So I'm just going to go slow. And applying no pressure, just letting the weight of the drill do the work, I'm going to slowly start to drill this tank. Just gonna stop for a second because it seems like the template's sliding. It's not really doing anything yet, so. Just remember to go slow when drilling. It's important to not put any pressure and to go as slow as you can so that you don't break the glass. But you want to keep it level and just go slow. Starting to get a little bit of a groove, which is good. Right, I've got a bit of a groove and now I can just take the template off and hopefully stay in it. Just gonna go slow. Gonna get some more water on here. Trying to pull itself out of the groove, so. Slowly getting there. Gonna get some clean water in that. So just cleaning out the glass out of there. It's definitely getting there. I'm gonna get a little more water. And we're through. The key with glass is to just remember that you're basically trying to file away at it. You don't want to put pressure, because as you push, it's going to cause it to break, especially at the end. Once you get to a really thin spot, you just want to let the drill do the work. So I'm just going to wipe up the water and the glass dust. And this edge is going to be sharp, so be careful if you're working around it. Gonna flip it over, wipe the inside. Yeah, it's nice and pretty clean this time. I've had them be a lot worse. The edge is always a little bit jagged, but... So the next part is just to get it plumbed up, which is pretty easy. I'm gonna put it on its side. I'm gonna take the bulkhead. For this, I'm using a 3/4 inch bulkhead. And the drill that I used was 35 millimeters. So I'm just gonna take the bottom nut off. Slide the bulkhead in the hole and tighten the nut down. And I'm just going to grab a wrench so I can get that nice and tight. But you don't want to over tighten it either. Just make sure that the seal gets nice and snug. It's not big enough. Just going to tighten it by hand. This is going over the sump anyways, so if this leaks, it's not that big of a deal. So, all right. So now I've got some pieces of pipe that I've already cut. The first piece is going to go into the auto top off box, which is now the Refugium box. The other piece I'm gonna cut once we're with the tank so that I know how deep to make it, so that I want the bottom of the pipe to just be under the surface of the water so that as it drains, it doesn't create any splashing noise. So the rest of this project is going to continue once we're at Francesco's house and we install it on his tank. So now we're at Francesco's house, and I'm gonna show you the rest of the setup needed to do this refugium. As I showed you in the last part, we drilled the auto top off that is now gonna be our refugium and put the standpipe into the bulkhead. The other parts that we're gonna need to finish this build are a refugium light. We use this one from Tunes because it's a perfect size and gets enough coverage for this tank. There's other options as well if you have a bigger refugium. And then we also got this pump from Chaeto with some tubing to feed the refugium. So the setup is pretty simple at this point. We're just gonna open the bottom of the tank. I'm going to grab our refugium box and slide it in where the auto top off goes. So I'm gonna have to move some wires out of the way. Doesn't look like we're on top. Ooh, I'm on one wire. There we go. So now that's back in place, and I'm gonna add the pump in and the light. So to start, I'm gonna get this refugium light set up. So I already ripped the box open. I'm gonna put the light in the mount. Gonna undo the cable tie. And then I'm gonna route this through the sump area. And then this light attaches with a magnet. And I'm just gonna put it right here, pretty much right above the standpipe. I'm gonna keep it out of the water, although this light is fully waterproof, it can be submerged. So I already have the light parameter set up on my apex. So all I have to do is plug this in now, plug this into the apex, and my light will start running on the preset timer that I've already done. So this is a little bit of a mess. Plugged in. So the light is going to provide, well, it's light for the algae. So algae is photosynthetic and it needs light in order to grow. So we're gonna put light into the sump in this container with the chaetomorpha macroalgae. The chaetomorpha will grow in here rather than having algae grow throughout the rest of the tank. So now I'm gonna unbox the Chaeto pump. Comes with rubber feet, different nozzles, suction cups, and the pump itself. This is a little bigger than I thought it was going to be, but that's still good. So I'm just going to get one of these nozzles. Just want to see which one fits the tube better. Seems too big. Seem like they're the same size. Yeah, there we go. All right, so got the tube into the nozzle. Probably should do that after. Sorry, see an O-ring that's supposed to go in there. All right, so yeah, so got the pump. We're gonna take the O-ring out of the bag. We'll put it on the nozzle. Tighten that down. That'll keep the pump from leaking. And then I can attach the tubing to the pump. Just like that. Now I'm going to put the rubber feet on the bottom of the pump so that it stops it from vibrating, which will keep it quieter in the tank. They're a little bit tight to get in there, but once they're in there, they're not going to come out. There we go, that's in. So I think it's probably going to go in this first chamber. Let me turn this around. All right, I'm going to move some stuff around. Pump's in. Definitely have too much tubing. I don't have a way to cut it right now. So I'll have to do that when I come back. But at least can get it somewhat running. All right, I'm just gonna route the plug through. This has to stay on all the time, so I'm just gonna plug it into this power strip. So I have to turn the auto top off. So this is gonna fill up. We're gonna have to add more water to the tank because this is pretty much draining the sump, but slow that down. I'm gonna turn this off in a second, but yeah, it's going too fast. This pump might be too powerful. I'm just adding more salt water to the system because now we've got an additional 5 gallons in the system for the Refugium. All right, so the pump that we originally put on here is a little bit too powerful. We did have a smaller pump downstairs that was being used to mix salt. This will be a much better pump for the salt mixing anyways, so we're gonna put the small pump on here now. So I'll just start by pulling this pump that we first put in out. trying to not get any water on the floor. And now here's the new pump. Now I'm just going to plug it in. All right, so now we got the smaller pump in. I'm just gonna plug it in and we'll see how it works. See the water level rising, and then it should start falling down. So the water is getting pumped through the pump into the tube and into this tank. And then the hole that we drilled with the bulkhead is draining the water back into the return section of the tank. So we're gonna put some chaetomorpha algae into this refugium, and we have this light that'll help it to grow. And again, the algae will grow in here and help to stop it from growing in the tank. So we got our Chaeto from Algae Barn. Clean Chaeto, they say it's pest free. So this will help to prevent any new pests from getting into the tank. So I'm just gonna open this up, grab the algae, and drop it right into the refugium. It's as simple as that. So that's how we turn this Red Sea auto top off into a refugium for the system. And if you enjoy our content, remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications to join us on our journey through the sea.